You ever heard someone say, be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove? Sounds kind of strange, right? But Jesus actually said this in Matthew 10, verse 16. He was talking to his disciples, telling them they were going out like sheep among wolves. Basically, he was saying, you're stepping into a world that ain't always friendly. So you got to be smart, but also stay pure. Now let's break this down. First, serpents, snakes. Why them? Well, snakes are cautious. They know how to move without getting caught. They avoid danger, and they don't waste energy on unnecessary fights. Jesus wasn't telling us to be sneaky in a bad way, but to be aware. Think before you act. Know when to speak and when to stay quiet. Don't just jump into things without thinking. Then he says to be harmless like doves. Doves are peaceful. They're not out here fighting or causing trouble. Being harmless doesn't mean being weak. It means you're not out to hurt people. You stand for the truth, but you don't act with hate. Now let's add Proverbs 14 verse 8 to this. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. This verse backs it up. A wise person understands their path. They think ahead, they move with purpose. But fools, they act without thinking and end up in trouble. So when Jesus says, be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, he's telling us to be smart about life, but also stay pure in our actions. Use wisdom, avoid unnecessary trouble, and don't let the world make you bitter. That's how we stand strong, without losing who we are. So we talked about being wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Basically, Jesus was telling us to be smart, but not harmful. Now let's go a little deeper. Look at James 3 verse 17. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, willing to yield, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. That's real wisdom right there. It ain't just about being smart. It's about having the right heart. See, wisdom from God is different from the world's wisdom. The world tells you to be wise so you can get ahead, outsmart people, win at all costs. But God's wisdom, it's pure, it's peaceable. That means you use wisdom to bring peace, not start fights. You're gentle, not harsh. You're willing to listen, not just argue. Now think about it. Being wise like a serpent means knowing when to speak, when to move, and when to stay quiet. But being harmless like a dove means even when you have the wisdom, you don't use it to harm people. Some people are smart, but they use their smarts the wrong way, to lie, manipulate, or control. That's not what Jesus meant. So if we're following Jesus, we got to check how we use wisdom. Are we using it to help people? To bring peace? Or are we just trying to be right all the time? Real wisdom is full of mercy. It helps people, not just ourselves. So yeah, be wise, but don't lose your kindness. Be smart, but don't lose your heart. That's how we live the way Jesus told us to.